What's up, everybody? Hey, just trying to get our phone straight here. Hold on one second. That should be okay for now. It's not perfect, but it's not bad either. Good morning. Happy Monday. You guys are doing well. Hey, it's Eric with Colorado's from Chasers. Hey, we're on Highway 24, just around the Manitou Springs area right now. Making our way into Colorado Springs here this morning. You can see our road conditions are not awesome. What's up, Caleb? Yes. Thank you for rubbing that in. You can see snow-covered and slick roads this morning from a little bit of freezing rain and a little bit rain, a little bit freezing rain, a little bit of snow overnight. You can see our visibility sucks. Just got a pretty low cloud deck fog right now, making just feel a little eerie. But yeah, the roads are pretty slippery if you're going out today. We're making our way up to Denver this morning. So you'll get to see cool. Thanks for the update on the summit. So we are rolling here. Cool. Yeah, this road is slick. We didn't get a lot of snow overnight. So what we have is just making it pretty slippery. What's up, Debbie? Caught Debbie live. No sound. Hold on. Hey, let's try that again. You guys got sound now? Sorry about that. I think we fixed the sound. A few of you guys are like, there's no sound. So someone let me know you can hear me. See if I fixed our sound. If not, we can restart. But I saw a little like button go up there. Someone let me know if you can hear me this morning. After I think I fixed it. Cool. Cool. There you go. So we are on Manitou area. It's actually a little bit better here now. We've got the Manitou. We did see some freezing rain, and some snow last night. Not a whole lot. Maybe an inch or so. Just making the roads pretty slick this morning. Yeah. Thanks for the catch. If I have Bluetooth on my car, then it doesn't work. So thanks for catching that here. I guess I can point this down just a tad. That's not bad. That's pretty good. We'll leave it just like that here. Keep our hands on the wheel. So again, we are in the Manitou area. We're heading to I-25, and we're gonna head up to Denver today. We'll kind of update you as we go here for a little bit, hang out with you, kind of give you the road conditions in each area as we drive around today. So the worst was obviously up towards our house, up in Cascade, Chipeta Park. That's really snow covered. Actually got a little bit more snow than down here. So that's where it's going to be the lowest kind of visibility and driving conditions right now. Coming into Manitou, there is some slush and some slick on the roads as we come through Manitou this morning. So you want to be really careful. It's a little bit deceiving. There's like, not much snow, but it is pretty slippery due to the fact that we got some early rain out of it and then some freezing rain out of it. So everything's kind of slippery this morning. So you want to be careful with that. Everyone's driving like it looks like, which is okay. Just a little touchy on the brakes ahead of us this morning. You guys know that my biggest fear is never the roads. My biggest fear is the people around me on the roads. So And not to be arrogant and all that, but that's just my biggest fear. I'm not saying I'm the world's best driver in the snow, but the people around me are my biggest things that make me nervous. Most of you guys know, I did grow up in the Midwest. I grew up in Michigan. I've been driving in the snow most of my life. I had a number of jobs when I was in college and early on that meant driving every day. So driving every day across the state of Michigan for one summer and one winter. And so that's pretty terrifying every night to make that drive in Michigan regardless of the weather conditions. So we've been through quite a bit of weather conditions driving. Yeah. All right, coming into the west side of Colorado Springs right now. You see our visibility is a little bit better. The cloud deck is a little bit higher. We're not into that fog that we had up in Cascade and all that. You can still see the roads are snow covered. A little bit of a lane here, which is good. I'll happily use that lane. Seeing a flash ahead of me. I think that's a red light camera. I don't think that's anything like thunder or snow or anything like that. Hope you guys are doing well. Most of you guys have today off. Enjoy one more day of holiday. I wish. I actually have work off. I'm actually heading up to Denver for EMT school all this week. So happy to go. Not the happiest to be gone for the entire week in class, but understand the need to do that. So rock through it here. Let's try to get this camera just right in. There we go. That's about it. So, class all week and then testing on Friday for EMT stuff. So, it'll be good. Get a chance to hang out in Denver. I'm actually going to stay up in Denver all week. So I'm not doing this hour and a half drive every morning and every afternoon. Lots of football on today. Kind of bummed. I'm going to miss a lot of good bowl games today. Kind of bummed. They usually do, every other year, every other year, it's bowl games on New Year's Day. This year being on a Sunday, they didn't do it. They did the NFL, which is a bummer. Because I am much more of a fan of college football than I am of the NFL. And so all those games are on today. And you're like, what? What do you mean today? It's the second. So a little bit of my venting there. If you're on our supporter page, go back and look at our forecast for the severe setup today in the south. I don't, Tracy. Yeah, I don't live up in Denver. So unless we would have been in a class together, which I haven't taken many classes like that, and our fire departments wouldn't have connected because I'm way, way, way down here in Colorado Springs, west of there. So here's a decent severe threat for the south today. There are some flies in the ointment with the severe setup today. Certainly not a slam dunk. For that, we have some issues with instability and timing of waves and that sort of thing. So if you guys want to nerd it up, our supporter page, we teach forecasting, and so we did a forecast yesterday, and we looked at the pros and cons of today's setup, and even where we would go if we were chasing today, which we're not. So if you have a need to nerd it up and want to learn about weather and want to learn about just basics of weather, why do we have severe weather, or even if you want to get even more fine-tuned, and you're maybe thinking about chasing or something like that, that supporter page may be your jam. So if you go to the top of our page, there is a subscribe now button, and that will link you to that page and you can check out the details on it. But I certainly think we'll see some severe thunderstorms. I certainly think we'll see some tornado warnings. And I mean, the likelihood that we'll probably see a tornado or two or three in that area is not out of bounds. There's certainly enough low-level dynamics to give us tornadoes today down there. So, all right, we're gonna jump on highway. We're gonna jump on I-25. See what 25 looks like. It's certainly better down here in Colorado Springs. Still there's some slush. You can see that on the roads. It's not horrible. Roads will get worse as we get up towards like Monument Hill. Oh, Eduardo, I can't. It doesn't translate real fast. It doesn't translate on this for me, so I don't know what you're saying, bud. I'm sorry. I'm like a majority of Americans, and I only speak one language. I'm learning that as I travel more and more. Just, man, how much I wish I would have learned another language as a kid. You guys saw we just got back from places like Greece and Germany. In Greece, middle schoolers, I believe middle schoolers, are required to take English. Like, that's just a requirement as you're in school. And I'm like, oh. And then in Germany, you're required to take at least one other language. Most take English. Some take Spanish. But you just realize how little all of us in the U.S. do with other languages. So, I-25 looks just wet right now. We're gonna keep an eye on the temperature as we're driving here. Right now we're at 30, so I imagine they've treated this road. We're gonna assume they have. We're gonna be really careful just in case. So this road could get slick. I think it will as we get up towards Monument Hill. Get a little elevation, it'll cool off a little bit faster. They would have got a little bit more precip. So we'll kind of see. We'll be on the large spur. That area has the potential. It snowed a little bit. It's on both sides of the highway. The roads actually look pretty decent. Again, look just wet. But with that temperature at 30, you want to be a little bit careful where your confidence lies. You know, back in the Midwest, you'd go, oh, this is, we're rocking, because we would have put enough rock salt on this road to kill everything. And so you really, you wouldn't have to worry that much. There is sand in that left lane. In Colorado, we don't use a lot of that. We use mag chloride, you spray on. It doesn't have that same effect as all the salt we dump in the Midwest. But all that salt in the Midwest is why every car in the Midwest you struggle with things like rust. So a bit of a give and take. A couple areas along Highway I-25 that we lose our signal. That's always one of them right there. I don't know what that is. But we're back. Jake is with us. Jake, are you chasing today? A little Eastern Texas fun for Jake. Jake is chaser on our page that we met one time on a Lockett tornado day. Kind of hung out with us and kind of tagged along and landed a big, nice a few tornadoes right there in Lockett's Vernon area of Texas a couple years ago. All right, be safe out there, man. So we're in the Garden of Gods exit here as we continue to go northbound. Temp is still hovering right about 30 again, so especially on looking around at my roads, especially on the side roads and stuff today, they're going to be slick because of the temperature, because of the moisture on the ground. You want to be a little bit careful with that as you drive around today. 25 so far looks okay. Obviously, more traffic roads, you can do a little bit better today. I didn't know. I went to bed and I didn't see exactly where all the freezing rain and snow hit last night. There was some when I was out last night. I was driving a little bit, coming back to my friend's house last night and caught a little bit of rain and freezing rain in the springs. I knew we were going to have some areas in the morning that were a little slick, so we're actually on the road a little bit earlier than we need to, which is better than being on the road later than we need to. On our way up to Denver. So you can find some traffic here. Paired with little scared drivers. First kind of live of 2023. We're last couple days we've been live here and there. We had a snow patrol a couple days ago. We tried the other night. Thanks for being patient with us. To get the fireworks on top of Pikes Peak. They're really far away, so you zoom in the best you can, and then there were clouds on the deck. Why are we on stopping? Mercy. Oh, we're stopping because there's people and lots of accidents in the road. Hold on. Alright. Oh man, we got a bad accident on 24. Garbage trucks spun around in the road. Alright, everybody looks okay and out of their vehicles. Sure 18 people are going to call 911. That's scary right there. One of the reasons why we left so early this morning. That was 2 garbage trucks and a car involved in an accident right there. Yikes. Again, which is why you want to use caution. Again, it's 30 degrees out. The roads are wet, but you see, I mean, just one little hiccup. Everyone's kind of spinning themselves around this morning. So, yeah, thanks, appreciate it. Thanks, I appreciate it. We'll be okay. Like I've mentioned before, the the biggest worries on days like today are other drivers. So but we are being cautious and slow and all that stuff. So thanks you guys for looking out for us on days like today. Again, just trying to give you a look at the roads as we're driving today. That could be a big pile up back there. It's one of the reasons everyone was out, looked okay. One of the reasons I didn't stop is that is a really dangerous situation to jump out of your car in those situations because of the amount of cars that are coming down the highway. So that could easily be a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 car pile up back there. Cool. It's good to know. I gotta head that way. Whoa, dude. Holy cow. Did you guys see that? I hope you guys saw that. The guy is just, oh my gosh, he got on the road. He got on the road on the on-ramp, and then he fishtailed his way all the way in the left lane. Why would you do that? Oh my gosh. That guy was nuts right there. You're gonna go that slow? He's doing like 15. Stay in the right lane. My gosh, that guy is the next accident causer right there. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said 100 times already, right? It's not the roads you worry about. I mean, the roads are slick. You want to be careful. 29 degrees and slippery road conditions. But it's the people around you, like people like that. Dude, that's wild right there. Man, I mean, like right from the on-ramp of the highway, just straight across to the left lane, fishtailing at 15 miles an hour. You're like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's another wreck back there too. So I would imagine at some point that person, you're just like slaloming to get out of the way. Making their own lane. Yeah, you have to do that for sure on days like today. But if you're going to go that slow and have that lack of control, man, stay on the right. Hug that right lane like it's your best friend ever. And you have traffic that's doing, I mean, I'm doing 55 right now, which is 20 under the speed limit, but my gosh, that was wild right there. That was interesting, to say the least right there. So, yeah, who knows what we're gonna... That's why we left so early today. Wow, that guy getting on the highway with about 87 fog lights on his car. That's fun. See all kinds of things on our drive this morning. Yeah, if you don't gotta go out, stay home. If you got the day off, man, just stay home today. It's not worth it. So, hey, I gotta do something real quick on my camera. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's not worth it. Give time for the sun to come up and give us a little better visibility for sure. Conditions also. Alright, dude. Just, if you're gonna drive slow, which is okay. It's okay to drive slow on days like today. Just don't do it in the left lane or the middle lane. Get in the right lane. Holy moly. Oh yeah. You know, we don't get a lot of freezing rain in Colorado. We still get the moisture for it, right? We don't get a lot of rain in general, let alone freezing rain. And so by the time we have, you know, winter systems, there's like not a whole lot of moisture in them. That person looked panicked right there. So, yeah. The freezing rain is no bueno. In the Midwest, I've driven in it so many times. It's scary. I mean, the road just looks wet, and then you just know you've got a ton of ice underneath that you're dealing with. That's a scary deal right there when you get the freezing rain like that. So I'm gonna try to do something one more time, guys. Hang on. Alright, we're back. Thanks. So, in the monument area right now. Making our way up to Denver today. Messenger. Hey, it looks like you have 2 garbage trucks in a vehicle facing the wrong way, 25 northbound around the Nevada exit north of Springs. Yeah, it does. It's horrible. Yeah, the freezing on your windshield is wicked. You gotta just full tilt the frost, so your car is like at 8,000 degrees trying to melt the windshield, and your coolant is melting really fast too. Those aren't fun. Those aren't fun situations at all. I don't miss those days at all. I'm not 100% sure of the exit, but I wouldn't be surprised if more cars were involved. The visibility was really bad. if it ends up being a big time multi-vehicle accident, the front end of it is on my live feed. Okay, sorry, just communicating with our local TV station. So we're Monument, snow-covered right lane, iffy in between middle lane, and then you can see the left lane. It's not horrible. There were a set of plows going the other way. That's good and promising and hopeful. As we work our way northbound, we're gonna get into, we're Monument right now. Be in that Larkspur area, then Castle Rock, and then South Denver, like the Little Tree. Like the Lone Tree, Centennial, Inglewood area as we roll through town on our way up to Denver today. Traffic has died down a little bit, which is nice. Get away from the craziness a little bit here. Monument Hill looking okay. .26 up here, so that's a way more tendency to be slippery up here. Be a little bit careful as we're kind of coming up and over the hill here. You never know what you're going to see past the hill. Play along well together as we're driving. So we're up in Larkspur area again. If you guys are just joining us. And again, you can see, I think this is just going to be on par for our entire drive, probably the rest of the way. It's just slushy, not terrible, slushy roads, visibility pretty low until that sun comes out. Starts to kind of erode away at the cloud deck. Sorry, didn't mean to yawn. Just joined us. It's a couple accidents, at least, well, one accident. We kind of slalomed around this morning. Two garbage trucks and a normal car, a passenger car. The garbage trucks were facing the wrong way, right in the middle of 25. right just north of downtown, so you want to be careful. I'm sure that's a hot mess right now. Hopefully they moved it off the road. The garbage trucks didn't look like they had any damage. They're very big and large and metal. The car was completely trashed. So I'm sure that's a hot mess in downtown right now. And then just the occasional terrified driver that was trying to make their way across the highway. That's been kind of our morning. So the Greenland exit, a little liquid on our windshield. Should I see what we're seeing here? Again, just slush on the roads. Not snow covered, but they're slushy. So they can be slippery if you're not careful. If you hit that slush kind of at the wrong time or the wrong turn of your steering wheel. So you want to be really careful with that kind of stuff on days like today. So this is the kind of no man's land between Colorado Springs and Denver. Usually your car will do okay with the slush. You just get a little bit of looser steering as you hit it, crossing over lanes. If you have bad tires, it'll exaggerate that pretty quickly for you, so you want to be careful with your tires on days like today. But all in all, we're going to be okay. Once that sun comes out, things will dramatically improve. We do have a chance for some more snow, kind of the northeast part of Colorado, but Denver could still see a little bit this afternoon as the system kind of tracks off to the north and the east. You get what we call wraparound from a surface low. We've done this a number of times on our page, but your wind direction on days like this mean a lot. Get some little heat on my toes. If you're in Denver, we always say anywhere in Colorado where you're up against the mountains, if you can get winds coming out of the east on days like today, you have a chance for more snow. It's called upslope. It's the mechanism in which the east wind will push moisture up the mountains, and that creates what we call lift, and enough lift for snow. It's also the mechanism to give us thunderstorms and lightning in the spring. So your wind direction means everything on days like today. Where you're going to get a surface low, right? So low pressure is going to rotate counterclockwise. And so you think about its placement to you and where the winds may be as it rotates counterclockwise, takes those winds counterclockwise. So if you're north of the surface low, then your winds are primarily out of the east. And that would be your best opportunity for some snow. If the surface low is to your east, then you're going to get more north winds, and north winds are very dry. The only places we would see anything from the north winds would be around like the Palmer Divide, Castle Rock, Monument area, because you have the Palmer Divide, which is a east-west elevated terrain, and so those north winds would actually run up it, creating the same mechanism of upslope. So it's all about your winds on days like today, which direction they're coming from. But yeah, so that surface low moves off to the east and northeast, and so where there's, sorry about that. And so as it moves east and northeast today, where that wraparound can be maximized against the mountains and against elevated terrain like the Palmer Divide, you will see a better chance of snow. So you could see some snow again, and then that surface low moves itself off into Nebraska, where we're going to see some more significant snow, and where we could see some more significant freezing rain up into Nebraska area. So yeah, so pretty powerful system. And then the same system, that same kind of cold front mechanism moves across the south later on today, which is the trigger point for that severe weather and possible tornadoes. So kind of an active day here across the plains. Again, thanks for tagging along with us today. Freezing rain is one of the worst. I would agree. Would agree. But again, not something we see much out west because we have so little moisture in the air to begin with. A little log jam of plows and semis up here, and buses. Holy moly! Breaking the rules on the bus. Oh no. Oh, he's doing okay. I thought he's crossing over the double line. Oh, we're gonna hit the express lane here. We have plows and buses and all that slip. There you go. Someone needs to write it. I'm not writing it. I'm just kidding. That lovely mag chloride on the side of my car. This is the express lane they've added to this drive. I haven't turned on the tolling on it yet, so it's still free to do. I usually never take toll roads unless I really have to, but I want to get around the chaos right there. And people in Colorado have not learned, especially on this road, how to navigate this toll lane, so they just cross over in and out of it all the time, which is actually illegal to do, but that's okay. We're heading northbound to Denver. Jeff, I'm hoping you create the song, my friend. So get going on it. All right, so this is coming up on Castle Rock. Always reminds me of the Fraggle Rock TV show I used to watch when I was a kid. Castle Rock, also for you just joining us or have been around for a while. Castle Rock, 20 years ago, was the home of, it's where you always sent in cash or money orders and got like the power jam of the 90s, like any of that whatever that word is. I hate that word. But like those CD or cassette or CD collections of, like, you know, the 80s greatest hits. You'd always at the end of the commercial be like, send your check or money order to blah 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 blah, blah Castle Rock, Colorado. So yeah. So before I even moved here and lived in the Midwest, I always knew Castle Rock is, oh yeah, that's that place you send away to get the CD or cassette tape collections. Some fun, useless trivia. I know I knew someone was gonna spell it out. Doesn't mean I can say it. Compilation. I can't get it. There's just some certain words that tongue tie me. That's one of them. I feel like you're missing a letter in there, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Let's all make fun of Eric today. Just kidding. I know you're not. I can see it. I just can't say it. Is that how you do say it though? Is it compilation? It is compilation. Yeah. I still can't say it faster though. Thank you. You guys are all spelling it out like, let's help this dude. Yeah, so, yeah, it's a hard word for me. So you guys know this about me, when I was a little kid. Up until I was a senior in high school, I went to a speech pathologist every week. Because when I was really, really young, like 4, 5, 6, there's lots of letters I could not say. So I could not say R's. I could not say CH's. I could not say L's. So they were all different. They would all come out different, right? So R's would come out as L's or W's. So yeah, so I went to a speech pathologist for, 12 years, right? From the time I was like 5 until the time I was like 17 or 18. And obviously I got progressively better when I got into high school, but still in middle school, I still could not say lots of words. Clearly, I had the definite issue with speech when I was in middle school. Elementary school was worse. Kids are not as horrible in elementary school as they are in middle school. And it was fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah. And now, I mean, now I have it sounded really cute until you're a middle school boy and the other middle school boys don't think it's cute. Let's just say that. That wasn't fun. But I didn't get picked on a lot as a kid. Luckily, there wasn't. I didn't get bullied or anything like that. I was a really good athlete. That kind of helped. I think I always liked one of the better athletes of the school, so that kind of carried any kind of issues I would have had. Yeah. Well, now it's funny, right? Because now I jump on Facebook Live and talk for hours at a time, and then I have my other job. Most of you guys know, and I'm like teaching and training people and all that stuff. I was going to be a high school teacher for a while. So yeah, I've certainly gone the other way with some of that stuff. Now it's kind of dive in fully into professions or lots more opportunities to speak publicly, which is fascinating. Dude, don't hit the brakes and then change your lane. People are bad drivers today. We're going to give some bad driving awards out today. There's just poor drivers today. We're just going to say that out loud. Yeah, so once in a while I come across I had some close friends that had a son that had some speech challenges, and it was kind of fun to talk to him about it and encourage him along the way. I had a phenomenal speech pathologist from all through elementary school, and then I had a different one in middle school, but then I had the same one again when I was in high school. Obviously it's a professional relationship, but man, I got to know her so well. She came to my wedding when I was in my 20s, kind of a deal. So, and I've had an opportunity a number of times to thank her for all of her help. The confidence that she built in me and the ability to communicate and all that stuff. But I still get tongue-tied. That's the point of all the long route to get there. There are still words that tongue-tie me. And I don't know if that just goes back to being having some speech problems when I was a kid, or just it's just the nature of who I am. But certain words still tongue tie me, and they take me longer than most people to kind of pick up. But anyways, humble opinion, people are always bad drivers. True, I just think it's exaggerated, or it's exaggerated on days like today. Oh, Jacqueline knows. Same with some words. Yeah, I get tongue-tied for sure, but man, if you could go back and watch, like, there's a few videotapes when I was a little kid. Like, I was in middle school, I think on the middle school drama team, we did, like, you know, a play or things like that. You can still hear lots of words that I struggled with back then. And it was fascinating how they did it. It really was just around repetition of, like, tongue placement. And I don't know how you don't, like, as a kid, it didn't develop, right? So you kind of have to, like, manually do it. And so to practice, you know, where do you put your tongue for an R? Where do you put your tongue for an L? Where do you put your tongue for a CH? And just repetition over and over and over again. So, like, we would use Genius. Like, we play a board game. Board games are fun, right? When you're, you know, 7 or 8. But every time I rolled the dice, like, to move 6, I had to say, like, 6 words that had, like, CH in them. And she would have them already printed out, things like that. So you'd say things like each, much, you know, things like that. And it's just repetition of tongue placement. It was huge. It was awesome. So, anyways, enough about that. So I grew up, it smells like natural gas right there on the highway. Just hold on one second. Hope someone's not leaking a ton of natural gas around here. It smells like natural gas. Okay, it's a strong smell. I grew up in the Detroit area, so I grew up in Livonia, so west suburb of Detroit, and then went to school in Kalamazoo, and then lived up in the Grand Haven area, west of Grand Rapids on Lake Michigan. Yeah, Jacqueline, it's teachers did such a good job, right, of learning, just knowing how to teach in a way that made it fun. So, like, we'd play board games, and you would spin, and you would get points, and then she would keep track of all the points you got during the games, and then you had this big, you know, on the wall, you had this big chart, and when you hit milestones, like when you got to 1,000 points or 1,500 points, like 1,000 points, I don't remember the points, how they broke down, but when you got to a certain level, like let's say 1,000 points, you got like a candy bar. When you got to huge numbers like 3,000, you got to go out to lunch. You got to go to McDonald's with her, which was so cool. So yeah, she made it really fun, and even in middle school, it wasn't bad. Like, they were, I think every kid knew I had, they could hear it, right? And they knew I went to a speech therapist, but they didn't make a huge deal out of it. And I just remember she'd always just come to class, and she'd knock on the door and open the door and say, hey, can I have Eric for a few minutes? And I would go for like 30 minutes or something like that. And no one made a big deal out of it. And she didn't say, hey, I'm the speech teacher and I'm coming to get Eric. And I'm sure kids knew, but it wasn't bad at all. So, yeah. And then in high school, they just sent a pass. You know, in high school, you have all kinds of people that call for you with a pass, you know, guidance counselors, etc. So it wasn't that big of a deal. So I loved spending time just hanging out with her because she was just a good person. So, and again, you spend that many years with somebody, you know, she knew lots about my family, and oh yeah. So, mad props to this speech pathologists, there's speech therapists out there in the world. Helped a bunch of us along the way. All right, back to fog here in Castle Rock, north side of Castle Rock, Castle Pines now. This is usually where traffic starts to jam up, so we'll see what happens to be a little bit further north here, what kind of traffic we see. It is a day off for a lot of people, so I'm hoping traffic isn't too crazy dumb up here. I'm so sorry you're so dry in the UK. But 28 degrees. You can tell that there's like a there's a light kind of mist right now. So you have to be careful with that. Kind of get what we call freezing fog, which is a thing. So it's just moisture, right, that freezes on the surface. So we're going to be a little careful if we're driving. Not going to drive like it's normal rain. We are moving at a pretty good clip. So far so good. When we get up here to like the Ridge Gate exit, the Lone Tree area, typically that's where traffic jams up. So those are the areas that you would really be concerned, because it just takes one dum-dum to create a little bit of havoc for everybody. I'm staying up in Denver all this week. I'm not making this drive every day. Today it really looks to be the only snowy day, but you know, it's about an hour and a half drive normally. So an hour and a half this early in the morning, an hour and a half at 5 o'clock every day. It just seems dumb. So use some hotel points, spend a little money, spend the week in Denver. With class, I got to study a bunch this week too. So this week, EMT class is like a boot camp where you learn just the hands-on parts of being an EMT. A lot of it I know from being a firefighter, but you go through the class, and then if any of you are EMTs, you will know the first set of testing is your kind of motor skills kind of testing, your ability to handle a scene. So it's not necessarily, there is head knowledge, but it's more like handling a scene in order. And so you're given a scenario, and so you show up on a scene, you're given a scenario. You have to navigate all the things that you have to do for that patient. And there is an order to it, although you don't need to follow the exact order, but there are some critical things that you cannot miss. And if you miss them, it's an automatic failure on that part, that skill. And so it really is about learning some of the critical things when you arrive on a scene. You know, one of them's like scene safety, making sure you're safe at a scene, make sure the scene's safe before you engage it, things like that. Yeah, so by the end of the week, hopefully, cross your fingers, knock on wood, send your prayers, I'll have that part done. And then it's just literally, you have to go to a testing center and do the online computer test. And then we'll be done as an EMT. So hopefully it goes out without a hiccup this week. Been already doing a bunch of practicing. I have most of it down, so but we'll have lots of evenings here in Denver. I'll get a chance to continue to kind of fine-tune that kind of stuff. All right, south part of Denver right here. It's like the Lone Tree area. Yawn, yawn, yawn. brake lights ahead. You're like, uh-oh. Who's going nuts on the brakes up here? It does slow up here, just natural due to traffic. But again, it's a holiday for most, so kind of a calmer day for sure. What's up, Johanna? Johanna, we've been live for an hour. No pressure. Just give you grief. Tracy, what kind of training center is it? You said a training center. A training center for what? I'm just curious. Out there in Frisco. It's okay, John. You know, Facebook is weird about triggers and when it tells you about things. So here's what I would do. I haven't posted this lately. Oh, firefighting training center. Very cool. I didn't know there was one out there. Yeah, I'm not sure when we'll get out there next, but what do you retort? One thing you could do that would help, I haven't posted this in a while, is go on our page and just like a bunch of posts. So just like yesterday's post about the forecast, like yesterday's weather, just like a bunch of stuff. And that tells Facebook you're engaged and interested again. And then it'll make sure you get more notifications. Oh, I have no idea it was out there, Tracy. Cool. I might have to check that out if I'm ever out west. Do you work there, Tracy? Are you an EMS personnel? It is pea soup. It's foggy. This is better. It was all snow covered in Colorado Springs. So we get out of the snow. We had some crazy accidents. We had cars facing the wrong way on this highway not so long ago. So. But pea soup is a good analysis of what we're dealing with right now. But man, this traffic is awesome. Knock on wood. Cross your fingers and toes. Because this is usually a hot mess through here. Awesome. Thanks for Tracy for that hard work. You're 22 years and I just finished year 1. So, as a guy in my 40s, so I just felt convicted to do more for my neighborhood and my community. So, I got wildland certified, wildland fire certified, and now EMT. I'll do structure at some point, maybe. I'm afraid of heights. I gotta navigate the heights part of structure, firefighter 1. But we also don't get structure fires. We have like maybe one a year in our community. We just don't get them. We had one all last year. So it's not the highest priority for me right now. So I can navigate the other 2 first. Thanks. You too. Thanks for your service. My gosh. All the years you put into it. That's a lot of years. So yeah, so part of that is coming up here for a week. We had some EMT classes that were local. But I have a crazy work schedule. Yeah, no problem with hills because there's ground underneath you, right? I don't get ground. It's the ladder. It's the like going up high on the ladder when there's nothing underneath you kind of a deal that kind of gets me a little nervous. But yeah, so we had an EMT class that was local, but I travel a lot for a lot of different reasons. 1, I'm chasing. 2, I have another job that I travel a lot for. 3, I like to go travel the world, just got back from Greece and Germany and things like that. So doing a traditional class that meets, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I can't do. And so this is the only way I could really do it. This is an online course through University of Colorado. And then you spend a week doing hands-on with Denver paramedics. So kind of the only way I could get there. So cliffs, I don't go near the edge of them. So yeah, Greece was awesome. We posted great photos of it. It was awesome. Germany was really fun too. We did Berlin, saw some family, did Berlin. We the Christmas markets in Germany were so much fun. December was such a cool time to go. Obviously, it was colder, snow on a few days there in Germany, but the Christmas markets, walking around were so much fun. And then Greece was warmer and nice. Seeing Athens, seeing things like Corinth, Corinth was amazing, right? To see ancient Corinth was really cool. To see like where Paul was arrested was really cool. So it was really awesome. But yeah, we did all that. So it was really cool. Parthenon, the Acropolis, all that stuff was really, really fun. So there is an amazing, in Athens, if you haven't been in the last 10 years, there's an amazing new museum, Acropolis Museum, which they just built about 10 years ago. And they built it on top of, and they support it really well, on top of an entire city that's back to, 2, 3, 5, 10, 100 BC. And you can just look down there and you see this whole little, city. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, and even Athens, walking around the city, hitting the markets, the vendors, the shopping districts, were just really fun. You can. It's amazing. It's such a cool spot. John, I think we're talking about the same thing. Are you talking about the museum? I'm not sure which you're talking about, but yeah, you can get. I mean, like even in Corinth, like you're inches away. Like you're just walking around ruins that are 2,000 years old. Yeah, it is really cool. So it was pretty sweet. Yeah, so we had a really good time. Yeah, the city. And then we went to Mykonos, which is one of the islands, which is cool. It's known as like the party island. We weren't partying, but it was really quiet because it's the winter, right? So not everything was open, all the shops, but it was okay to walk around the city and check it out. So we were there just for a couple of days. That was fun. I was not. We got there right after the riots. I did Israel too, Caleb. I did that about 10 years ago. Like I said, I like to travel. Israel was really cool. We didn't do it with a tour group, which maybe I would want to do next time. We did it kind of on our own. We had family that lived there at the time, and we kind of did it on our own. Drove to Jordan and went to Petra. Went to the Dead Sea and bobbed around. So, you said about the riots. There were, it wasn't bad. There's just the anniversary of, there's a pretty, they don't have a lot of police brutality, but there's one significant case of that. And every year on that anniversary, there's always a little bit of fighting between the police and the people. So there's tear gas and things like that. It's not anything like we have in the U.S. It wasn't bad though. So. Okay, guys, I got to bail here in a second. I need my GPS to figure out where I'm going here in Denver. So we'll try to go live again, hopefully this week. I don't know. Like I said, it's a busy week of EMT class for me. So say a little prayer for EMT testing at the end of the week. But yeah, we'll check in with you. We'll obviously keep posting forecasts and things like that along the way. So you'll still get weather. You just may not get a live unless we're able to get out and do something. So, all right, guys. Hey, be good. Have a good week. Have a good day. Enjoy your day off for those that still have today off. Enjoy it. And yeah, we will talk to you later. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all. We'll see you guys later. Bye.